Chronicles of Hope is essential reading for seekers of inspiration and spiritual empowerment. This series offers nourishment for those on a path of increased awareness at this challenging time. Inspired by higher sources of wisdom, Chronicles of Hope delivers messages to lift your spirit with a roadmap of hope and guidelines for living a life of expanded consciousness. The guides offer powerful insight for mental, emotional, and spiritual growth at this critical tipping point for humanity. The message is clear. We must change. We have the power to raise our vibrational energy individually and collectively before it's too late. I am Lois Hermann, author of the best-selling Chronicles of Hope series and host of the Inspiring Hope radio show at WSMN.live or 95.3 FM. You can find me at loisherman.com or chroniclesofhope.net.
Welcome to Inspiring Hope with Lois Hermann, a leading expert in professional coaching, clinical hypnosis, and energy clearing. Lois is an award-winning author of Chronicles of Hope. She has decades of experience in advanced hypnosis techniques, has conducted highly effective success coaching programs that have helped clients discover ways to achieve success, empower themselves, their families, as well as holistic practitioners to expand their practices. Get ready to be empowered with your host, Lois Hermann.
Hello, and welcome to Inspiring Hope. I'm your host, actually we're your host, and we're here to inspire you with positive messages and celebrate these amazing people who are making a difference in our world when we focus our thoughts and energies on truth, honesty, and integrity. We create powerful shifts that cause us to be more positive and peaceful. As we lift our energy, we empower everyone around us. If we each do what we can to make small shifts in awareness, we create ripples of hope. Join us as catalysts for positive change for our families, our communities, and our world at large. And I hope you're inspired by today's show. And the first thing I'm going to say is, Art, do you realize that everything you're doing is being recorded? We can. Oh, because we've got so many people in here. Yeah, we're hearing his breath, his. It's so I think this is a big community family today. So we are here to ask this question: what are you grateful for this year? So many changes have happened in our world. People have come and gone. Many are unaware. Others are in despair. Those with eyes to see know that our world is in turmoil. Situations have caused us to question and doubt everything and everyone. What on earth do we have to be grateful for? Well, we have each other. Many of us have found new tribes, new connections, and new people we can trust with our hearts. In the process of rescuing lost souls, our amazing angel team listens to their stories and gently helps them to a place of peace. We have witnessed so many beautiful stories of lost souls and angelic messengers, and working together, we encounter firsthand the battle of good and evil. While battling and challenging these dark forces, we've discovered a lot of sorcery at hand. And we've been trained to recognize, block, redirect, and heal the effects of spellcasting. Evil's all around us and hides itself disguised as wolves in sheep's clothing, especially among the ranks of the light workers. But remember, actions speak louder than words. When someone is a smooth talker, we can be taken in by their charm initially. We must be ever vigilant to pay attention to our own inner wisdom, our intuitive guidance, and watch closely for inconsistencies that are incongruent and questionable. Excuse yourself from those who seem to resonate at a vibrational level that is based on ego, greed, and service to self. If they're sincere, you will encounter integrity, resiliency, and respect. If they're from the shadow, you will be spewed with hate from their venom. Be aware, be patient, honor yourself, distance yourself from those who attack, and respect those who earn your trust. Today, I am ever grateful for our A-team. We trust one another completely and are honored to be of service to those who are truly welcoming, inviting us to assist in their ascension process. We are blessed to have experienced many miraculous stories and wish to share some of these uplifting stories with you. I thank each of you, our wonderful A-Team members, for your friendship, your love, and your dedication to one another. Here with us today, Christine Peck, Mary Fisher, Ann Bordelot, and Brian Hill's on the phone, and we have stood steadfast before the power of hell, and we are unafraid. Together we're unstoppable in our mission to rescue lost souls, illuminate the light workers, and bring hope to humanity with gratitude through these times of challenge and change.
You shall cross the barren desert, but you shall not die of thirst. You shall wander far in safety, though you do not know the way. You shall speak your words in foreign lands, and no will understand. You shall see the face of God and live. Be not afraid. I go before you always. Come, follow me, and I will give you rest. If you pass through raging waters, in the sea you shall not drown. If you walk amid the burning flames, you shall not be harmed. If you stand before the power of hell, and death is at your side, know that I am with you through it all. Be not afraid. I go before you always. Come, follow me, and I will give you rest.
That just sort of felt the right song, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, because we've kind of been through the fires of hell, haven't we? And we're not afraid. Why? Because we have each other, and we've got our beautiful angel team, and we have some other friends, too, that are helping us.
Right.
So you're listening to Inspiring Hope with Lois Hermann and team, and you can find us at WSMN.live or 95.3 FM, and also at loisherman.com and chroniclesofhope.net, and we're here every Sunday. And then we also record and post to our websites. So who wants to share first? Go for it, Mary. Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good glorious morning.
Good glorious day. Yes.
I just wanted to start out by saying that when we think about gratitude, we really have so much to be grateful for. And first and foremost is that we have found our team. And that our team is not only comprised of the beautiful human souls that we've already introduced, but it's comprised of beautiful angelic souls and beautiful otherworldly souls that have the greatest good of humanity for their purpose as well. So I'm gratitude for finding our purpose. And just to give a few little examples of why I'm grateful every day, recently we were able to help several souls who had departed this life, but who had not gone into the light. And we were able to, as part of this team, facilitate their being able to go into the light. And what that does, not only for that soul, which is beautiful, but for the person that these souls were around, gives them the opportunity to have closure if it's a family member. It gives them the opportunity to feel happy if it's an ancestor who's been trapped in a more negative senses or fear or guilt or any of these other lower emotions. It gives our client the ability to become happier. They don't carry around anybody else's baggage. And we often see the person's face light up by the end of our sessions. And it's a privilege and a source of eternal gratitude. And just one other little episode that happened recently, we were able to facilitate an unborn soul returning to his father's arms. It was very touching. It brought closure to that father, that loving father. And he could see that his infant was in a good place, in the light. So all of these things lead to a sense of gratitude.
And it leaves us, many of these sessions leave us with such a warm heart that we're just the facilitators. The healing is done through us and through us as a group with our amazing guides. But to be witness to it, to be the observer and to watch as the people do shift their energy is a blessing. And we all afterwards will sit back sometimes and just bask in this glow of, wow, that's miraculous. We're watching miracles, and it feels so nice. So yeah, you're exactly right, Mary.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for being here on this journey. You've just started this journey you've been on your own journey for many years as a Reiki master teacher, and you do the distance Reiki, very
Yes.
unique way of doing distance Reiki too, and I love that. Can you explain a little bit about that? Because you actually did a clearing for someone with your distance Reiki a few this week too. That was powerful.
I did. So when I'm going to do a distant Reiki session with somebody, I really like to have a little bit of information ahead of time. So it's important that I speak with the person ahead of time. And I do not have to be on a Zoom or a telephone call because energy is universal. Energy is everywhere. The entire universe is energy.
That's right.
And so we will set a time when that person can relax, however best they relax. If it's listening to music, that's fine. If it's being outside in the open air, that's fine. If it's just sitting down and relaxing for the first time that day, whatever. If it's getting ready for bed, whatever works. And so this person has been having, when we spoke, she was able to tell me that she had been having a lot of things recurring that had occurred before she went through an energy clearing with our group. And I asked her if there were any parts of her body that were in particularly troublesome. And there were a few places that sort of fit what we've been seeing in light workers around the world who we've been in contact with. Sort of we can see little slits in people's backs on occasion or disturbances to their aura. So the person also is a Reiki master. So I directed her to be doing self-Reiki
Right.
all during the session. And I directed her to concentrate on the different things that we had discussed
Wow.
while it was going on. And then we started the session, she in her home, me in my home. And as I started in with an energy clearing for her, clearing her aura, seeing what was in her aura, I actually could clearly see some disturbances in her back. And so using this universal energy, which again, everyone has this ability, we're all able to call on universal energy to heal ourselves,
Right.
to heal others, to heal our planet, our pets, whatever. So I was able to see that she had been attacked, and I was able to ask the angelic force that helps us to please surround that attacker with light and actually remove it. And then Archangel Raphael is a wonderful healer, loves to help people when he's asked, and he was able to fill her with this beautiful
Right.
green healing light. And then we were able to complete the entire Reiki session
Yeah.
and again check the aura at the end and settle her whole aura back to herself.
And this is the beauty of knowing what you're dealing with. A lot of people are naive to what people are encountering. And I was speaking with a very special person the other day who does clearing work, and described that wrapping up some of the energy and it dissipates. And that's really good. But what we do, it's kind of like we found the bullet, but where's the gun? Who shot it and why? So we go a little bit deeper in our team to uncover the root cause of where this energy is being sent. And this is where we're finding a lot of these, as I mentioned, believe it or not, there's truly some, I just say it, sorcery going on. And for people's, it's mind-bending how many people are being attacked on a spiritual level that absolutely feel it in the physical. It's very real. And when you guys are, when we're working together and you all see the same thing, it's mind-blowing. It truly is.
Yeah.
Christine, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say it is very affirming when we are a team together, and when we are in our altered state and seeing things, we all get the same, whether it's a sensation, image, or picture, or feeling, that's what's going on. And when we're together and holding the energy together, I think our clarity comes in much better,
Oh, yeah,
because
absolutely.
the intention is for us to bring healing and helping whatever the situation is. So as a team, when our intention, and also with all of our guides who are helping us,
Oh, yeah.
and I mean, they're the ones doing everything, but we're sort of the vessels to help bring it to light, and then to ask for all of whatever needs to happen there. But I do so appreciate, and this is one of my states of gratitude, when we are all together and how we found each other, because we do help each other. We help affirm each other, because working in this unknown world, you can get a little like, okay, is that really what was going on? Or what was that the message? But when you have others who are getting exactly the same message as you're getting at exactly the same moment in time, then you know it feels, it resonates as truth and the reality of what we're dealing with. So I do love that.
Yeah.
Dan, did you want to comment on that?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think Mary and Christine said it very well.
Yeah.
I just what keeps going through my mind right now is about sacred space. Because typically we set sacred space before we do any of these sessions. And so we we have not done it as a group yet this morning, and I feel like that was done purposely because, with Thanksgiving coming up and all of the family and, all the different, the gatherings this week, I feel like maybe we should take a couple minutes to do Sacred Space now so that way people can hear it and really feel it. And then they can also go to the website, Lois, loisherman.com, and then that way you have the video that they can follow so that way if they want to continue to do that on a regular basis, especially prior to anything that they have going on Thursday.
Any family gatherings, yes. I have to say that I noticed, and that Anne was setting Sacred Space before, and we all kind of, she had her eyes closed, she was intent, and we all kind of looked at each other and went, yep, Anne's got this covered.
Yeah.
And I want to say that the video that's on the website is the Virgo version.
Yeah. The Cliff Notes version.
Cliff Notes. Our friend Celie says, "Now you want the Pisces version of the story or the Virgo version? The Pisces is very much very colorful and expressive, and the Virgo version is just the facts." Yeah. So Anne, would you do the Pisces version? Your Sacred Space is
you want the expansive version.
yeah.
Okay.
And then so people can experience it. And then you can go to the website or subscribe to the newsletter is the best way to find it, because then when you do that, you'll have a list of things that you can just click on, and you'll be able to see the Cliff Notes version that we use every day, all the time. But Anne we continue to grow and learn, and she's got the more expanded version. She does a beautiful job. Would you do us the honor of setting Sacred Space?
Certainly. And then I may be a little bit more descriptive just because a lot of people may not be familiar with some of the different things. So then that way it will help bring everybody together as well. So before we actually get started creating the Sacred Space, we're going to call in our highest light level protectors, healers, communicators. And then also asking Archangel Michael if he can put us in his beautiful waterfall of golden light to help clear off our aura, because we don't want to bring in any stuff with us when we create this beautiful space. And then we'll ask him to bring in 8 pillars of crystalline light, and also a 9th pillar that goes right in the center. All of these crystalline pillars go up to Father Sky and down to Mother Earth. And then we're going to ask Saint Germain to help bring us in that center pillar. So each one of us will be in the center pillar of our own sacred space. And then have him bring in a violet flame pyramid that totally encompasses us. This violet flame pyramid will spin in a clockwise direction, and it will connect with Archangel Metatron's sacred cube that is high above us, and they will both spin in perfect synchronicity. And then asking Archangel Michael to bring in the legions of light to connect the outer 8 pillars to act as the walls. Also bring in a crystalline platform of light to seal the space below, and bring in a crystalline dome to seal the space above. And then around that entire area, that space, bringing in a reflective shield, kind of like a mirror, so that anything that is positive will come through and be amplified, and anything that is negative or nefarious will be deflected off, transmuted into pure love, and returned back to the sender. And then the next layer will be, again, Saint Germain and his violet flame. And then we will ask Archangel Raphael, who's the great healer, to bring in his green emerald ray of light as the next layer on top of that. And then we'll ask Archangel Michael to bring in a Shungite shield on top of that. And the Shungite shield...
Whoa. Oh my gosh.
Okay, and then the Shungite shield will help to block any EMFs. And that also connects up with Archangel Metatron's sacred cube. Also, we're asking Archangel Michael to bring in a high vibrational hum for this Shungite shield. And then also asking Archangel Michael to bring in 1,000,000 bubbles of light that go all around us and extend out for a 5-mile radius. And then finally asking Archangel Michael to extend out his beautiful dark blue ray of light over this entire space.
Well, that was fun. Oh my goodness, Mary, are you okay?
Okay.
I'm perfect.
Oh, you are perfect. Oh, I don't know whether people appreciate it. And this is why we set sacred space, because there's a lot of nefarious energy out there that interferes with us on so many levels. Mary started to cough, and in order to not cough into the microphone, she stood up to walk away, but her feet were wrapped in the cords from the microphone, and she fell down the stairs. This was just, oh my goodness gracious, and she's fine. Okay,
fine.
thank you, Anne.
Thank you.
Brian, are you still there? Brian, are you safely there on the other side?
Yes, I'm here, and a Sandy darling day to you all.
I can't hear on my.
You can't hear on her set now. Yeah, we've got all kinds
There
of
we
fun
go.
going on.
Okay, now I can hear.
There, now we go. Oh my goodness. So we set sacred space every morning and with the intention and to set the intention for the highest good of all. And then there's also, and Anne had come up with some really beautiful intention setting prayers, setting the intention that the words that I speak are of the highest good, that I may be of service. So when we set this intention, it really resonates through the day, and it makes a difference. And the same thing at night. If you have difficulty sleeping, set sacred space and set the intention that, you know what, I really need my rest. Please help me to be at peace. And I oftentimes will start praying for people.
Yeah.
How many people can I pray for? And then all of a sudden, I'm off to sleep.
Yeah.
So that's a good counting sheep kind of thing, is counting people to pray for.
And also sending this intention ahead of you.
Yes. So in the morning, I always send out, I create the sacred space around myself, around the house, around my car, and then also around wherever I'm going to be working that day, if it's in somebody's home or at the spa or wherever I'm going to be. And then also envisioning like the roads that I need to travel as kind of like, almost like yellow brick roads, but they're of golden light for additional protection as well and safety.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And you use the clearing techniques when you're doing your massage. So as you encounter energies, because you're in people's energy fields.
Oh, yeah.
And so you use this beautifully.
Yeah, especially with the veterans too, because I do the in-home medical massage for veterans, and so they're dealing with a lot, and so they all kind of know that I do energy work. Right. Some have questions, and they ask a little bit more details, but otherwise, it's just we kind of keep it a little bit on the down low, and I just try and help them as much as they can, because they have done so much for us and protecting our freedoms and our country and really putting their lives on the line. And so I'm very grateful to have the opportunity to work with them. So,
and sometimes just your presence is all that's needed for these people that are truly givers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I wonder if we should get Brian to say something. Us women, we just kind of take over. So, hey, Brian, you want to please welcome? Please share.
Please share. Okay. Well, apparently I'm not sharing what's happening there, so have to hear about it later, I suppose. Yeah. Yeah. I've been thinking about being thankful and gratitude and all that stuff, and I don't usually prep for anything that I'm going to say, because I like to be spontaneous and I'm really kind of lazy. So, so what I like to, I was thinking about what gratitude is, which is a kind of like a chosen state of being. You're either there and you're thankfully grateful for everything, or you're not. But thankfulness tends to be more of an emotional component. It could be like a reaction. For example, I woke up this morning, there was a deer in my front yard, and I flipped on the kitchen light here, and it scared her off. But I was still thankful that I was able to see her. It was kind of an emotional thing. But when you're grateful, by saying thank you to somebody, by being grateful, that's not quite as, it can be an emotional thing, but not quite as much as being thankful. So anyway, not to be kind of too Virgo here, as you guys put it earlier. If, for example, that same deer, if it were to run out in front of your car, I'm just thinking out loud here, that you can be thankful that you didn't hit it. That's an emotional component. Whew, I didn't hit it, right? And then you can show gratitude to the deer for not actually running into your car, and then you can show gratitude to your guardian angels, for their intervention that you didn't run into the deer, and those kind of things. So anyway, you want me to say what I'm thankful for, and I could probably say that maybe I could have y'all consider that I could probably be more negative, nasty, mean, cruel, so that everybody should be more thankful that I'm not. that would be, that's an emotional, anyway. So I could be thankful for all of you, of course, because you're all my spirit family. And, of course, that kind of goes without saying. But, of course, I'd love to say that again anyway. So I'm definitely thankful that you're all my spirit family. And I could also, for example, I could imagine that I had this large, fierce, slate blue dragon with golden wings, okay, sitting on top of my house and wandering in my neighborhood to keep me safe, okay? And I can also, I could be thankful for that. I could also be thankful for that little mosquito that woke me up twice this last night. Okay, before I finally remembered to turn on the ceiling fan, which would make it harder for it to find me, right? But then I can also be thankful that I can imagine a dragonfly inside my house to take care of that mosquito.
That's right.
So life, and I'm also thankful for life, being way too short to take things way too seriously. And so, and it's all, just how you look at things, and that's the kind of thing that you just have to always remember is that just don't take things too seriously. Take time to be thankful and show some gratitude, and be thankful that I'm a part of this wonderful soul group, and all the ways that I'm able to contribute in my little way that I'm able to. So there you go.
Wow. Well, thank you. I want to thank you for all of that, Brian, because you always do bring just a wonderful perspective to our team, and whenever we get together in meetings. But you always make me smile, not just on the outside, but on the inside. There's something about how you present things and what you say, and it just brings that sense of love and humor, and I always feel myself happy and smiling truly from the inside all the way out. So for that, I'm truly, truly grateful that you are part of our team, and in deep gratitude for that.
He does
Well,
bring
you're very gracious, Christine. Thank you.
he brings the humor with a Humor, the
Right.
humor angel. Yes, he does. He is our humor angel.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
We're lucky.
Yeah.
We are very lucky. And when if my mind starts to wander into that negative abyss, because we're human, things happen, I have to stop and I'll think, okay, what can I be grateful for? What am I grateful for? And it's really fun to shift it, because then when you shift it, then that other stuff just goes away. It shifts our energy and brings us into a high vibe energy that creates more to be grateful for.
Right.
So,
Right.
so you have a story, Christine.
I do have a story. Well, first of all, I do want to second everything that Mary said about that there are so many stories that we've had, and so many experiences as part of our clearing team that are magical, and they when you're in that moment and in that space, it elevates us to a place that I can't really put descriptive words on. It just, it's a state of privilege. It's a state of gratitude. It's a state of honor for being able to be a part of this journey and help our client with whatever we're working with that particular client. But in the expanded picture, helping if we find the souls that haven't found their way to being able to cross over, and even the bigger picture of helping clearing some of the negative energy that's in our planet and having it, it's a rippling effect that is just so amazing. So having said that, it's hard for me sometimes to really remember the actual journeys, because when you're in that space of just receiving messages and getting images and being able to share it at that time, for me, it's not really me. It's just I'm like a vessel that's being able to give whatever is meant to be known at that space and time. So often the next day I'd have very little recollection of what has actually happened. But I did experience something quite recently that was very powerful, and we were working with a client who had beautiful, beautiful bright light, was truly an old soul who is here on a mission and on a purpose and a journey, and came to Lois and for clearing and for getting herself connected back to source and spirit so that she could truly know that she was on her correct path. And in our working with her, we discovered that there were some spirits around her who had not been able to cross over and find the light. And this one little girl spirit stepped forward, who I assumed was between 9 and 10. And she was so cute because she was shy and she was kind of walking forward, but she wanted to have her story told. Mm-hmm. And so she asked permission, because when I get messages, I usually translate the messages and say it, but she asked permission, could she talk through me? Mm-hmm. And I gave permission for that to happen. So the best way I can describe it is that I suddenly felt as if I was her. Mm-hmm. I felt like I was 9 years old. Mm-hmm. I felt all of her emotions that she experienced. First of all, she had not actually recognized that she had died. Mm-hmm. And that was very earth-shattering for her to hear that from us. And then the next thing is she explained what had happened and how she had gotten very sick, and her mommy and daddy wrapped her up in a blanket, and she was very hot, and she ended up in a place that she described as a big building with lots of lights above her, and she was being taken away from her mommy and daddy. They weren't allowed to come. And at that point in time, I felt the scared of a little 9-year-old, the fear, the sadness, the anger, all of these just washed over me. And I realized how powerful all of this is in this work, and the healing that happened, because then she found her mom came from the light to greet her, and then all of a sudden this overwhelming joy and happiness at seeing her mom again, and she had her arms out, and it was just I was in a true state of gratitude for witnessing this, mm-hmm. being a part of something that was so, I use the word magical, but it's almost more than that. It's at a level that is very hard to describe how magnificent this experience is. And so she crossed over, and it turned out there's some other little ones, other little spirits who were with her, who all went with her at the same time. So I think there were like 4 or 5 that were together. And then she did share the message for us to tell our client that they had been trying to get her attention for about a year, and they were the mischievous ones. So they had been doing mischievous poltergeist things, not in a nefarious way, not to hurt her, but like moving items around so that when and then after all this was shared, our client said, "Oh my gosh, I now understand some of the things that were happening, like doors being closed when it made no sense that the door could be closed." So, and all of those spirits and all of their emotions and all of their feelings, which were affecting our client and which were a part of, she had owned it in some way, were now suddenly released, and she could be more true to who she was, and all of those found their way to the light. So it was a wonderful session.
And it was wonderful to have Christine asking, "Is it okay if she talks through me?"
Yeah.
And then Christine becomes this little girl.
Yeah.
And this is knowing how to get in, connect with the age of whoever you're speaking with.
Right.
So she's like, "My name is so and so, and I'm very shy."
Yeah.
and she and she went on to tell her story. And then I said, "Are there others there?" She says, "Oh yes, there's Johnny and there's Patrick and she named them all by name, and that was very different." And I said, "Would you help them all?" She says, "Oh yeah, they want to go with me. They want to go."
Yeah.
So it was really very, very special. But it was just so sweet to actually have Christine be that conduit. I'm actually really talking with the spirit through Christine.
Right.
And it all did at the very end. It all made such perfect sense. So
It did.
Oh,
It was
yeah, very magical. Very
was.
much magical. Yeah. When you're dealing with the children, I think that's one of the main things that drive us, is to help the children. But you know what? There's a lost child in many of us that have been wounded, so what our goal is to help those that are wanting to be helped. And then there are those that don't want to be helped, that are just casting meanness, and so we block and deflect.
Right.
And that's okay, because at some point we keep sending them prayers, sending them light. At some point, we never know when people our beings are going to change, are going to shift.
Right.
And so Anne, you have another story you want to share.
Yeah, so this is another client experience that we had. So I think it was Lois and I were working with this one particular client, and she had been blocked for a while, and it was just amazing once we started doing the clearing on her, how she just kind of almost came alive again.
Right.
And the information that all kind of rushed back to her in terms of who she was, and remembering her time with Jesus, and that she was Jesus's sister, and remembering Lois being there in that time as well. And it was just wonderful to hear some of the memories and stuff that she had recalled from that time as well. And then not only did it didn't end there in that particular session, because Lois has received text messages from her, and she's so open and so connected now, and everything that's coming back, and giving us some different information, and about our angels, and our guides and stuff being with us, and kind of what to look out for. And so she's almost kind of another one of our earth angel protectors.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So and it's funny because her messages always come at the exact right time, which is perfect. It's for divine timing.
Yeah.
But
That's very true.
It is. It's as if as we're working with all of these beautiful light workers and starseeds, they're becoming part of our extended family, and it's just magical. It really is.
yeah.
Well, and the other thing that when we go into this, we avoid going in with judgment. Archangel Michael has really encouraged us to let go of judgment. So we've had a couple of experiences, as Brian was talking about his dragon. I want to tell a dragon story. So, we've long been dealing with earthbound spirits, but we've had a couple of different people, and I want to that have had negative energy around them, swirling, binding them. And once we've removed the negative energy, and as I was saying before, we had to call who sent this. And sure enough, it was, in both cases, these two different specific cases, it was a dragon. And in both cases, we had a conversation with the dragon and gave the dragon the opportunity. Well, the first one was angry because it had been deceived by the nasties. I just call them nasties. And so he was angry at everything. And so in order to reclaim his energy and in order to change his ultimate outcome, because we send them on for their tribunals. We consider ourselves the shipping department. We come from a non-judgment, but we send them on to where they will have to judge themselves or face a tribunal of sorts in the spiritual world. So as he started pulling back his energy, he transformed into this magical, beautiful dragon. And then he wanted to be of help and of service. And of course, that was between Archangel Michael and he. So that one was pretty magical, but it caused me to, again, remember, we don't judge because we don't know what their story is.
Right.
And then that was a couple weeks ago. And then this past week, similar situation. This woman was being attacked, very much attacked. And there was this dragon who was very angry at humans. And so once we started having a conversation, now I say having a conversation, I'm asking the questions, and one of these lovely, amazing people are in a trance state. So they're the ones that are receiving, they're the communicators. And so they're receiving the information and they're seeing what's going on. I don't necessarily, I might get some intuitive hits, but these guys actually see what's going on. So the dragon starts changing shape as it's calling back all of its energy and wants to help. And so, again, saying, well, that's between you and Archangel Michael. And I have to laugh at this because the dragon made some kind of sideways comment, well, he's not all that impressive. And I said, excuse me, Archangel Michael, would you show your true self, please? That all of a sudden he must have just like...
Yeah.
And the dragon's like, oh, I get it now. Okay, yes, I get it now. And so what happened was, he said, that the dragon had been alone, was feeling very lonely. And so Archangel Michael, in the process of doing this work, we attempt to create a healing for a broader scope.
Right.
So we also called in all of the others in that area that were messing with the humans. And all of a sudden there were other dragons showing up, and these glorious, glorious, beautiful dragons that were released from the sorcery. These dragons had been bound by sorcery. Yeah. And so they were given the okay to protect. So we were each given a dragon. And so then all of a sudden we're noticing that the dragons are flirting with one another. This is like the she dragons are batting their eyes at the he dragons, and they're like, whoa, baby. You just can't make this shit up. It's just, and how can we all have the same vision together? Because that's what's so amazing. Yeah. So we now have these magical dragons who are protecting because they have been under curses for so long. Mm-hmm. And many people who are experiencing curses, it is amazing the stuff that's going on in the unseen world. It's very real. Yeah. And so just like the power of prayer, when you say send a positive energy, a person feels it. Well, there are those who conjure and send negative energy. Energy is energy. Right. It's how you use it. That's what it boils down to. Are you using it with the intention to do good or to do harm? And there definitely are people who use it to do harm in order for self-service, and that's what we have to be cautious of. We have to be grateful for the people who are doing things for good and help them, because they are often the ones that are coming under attack by these others that are service to self. Right. So we're finding a lot of this, but by golly, we now have dragons that are going to be making dragon families.
Which is
So you saw this, Anne. It's
I
so,
did.
yeah.
Yeah, I did. That was very cool. And so, I mean, the reason that the dragons were so upset and so angry was because they were blaming humans for their near extinction.
right.
And so then to be able to kind of like turn it around and actually get dragons for ourselves,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
have them want it to be with us.
Yeah.
And then that way they will no longer, they're not on that path of extinction. They will
Right.
continue on, and they'll be able to
Yeah.
produce other dragons as well.
Yeah.
But I did want to also kind of touch upon what you just said, Lois, about sending like that negative energy. So I mean, even like just in anger, like saying something about somebody, like, oh, well, I hate you or whatever. Well, that sends a barb to that other
Absolutely.
person and sticks in their energy field.
Right.
And the worst thing also is if you're saying it about yourself,
Yeah.
then you're doing a lot of self-sabotage and self-attack. So, I mean, words are very powerful, and so just be very, very careful in terms of like the words that you're using. And
Very true.
so there is always, I was reading some of the notes that I got from some of my classmates at massage school this morning, because at the very last class we had to write notes to each other, and it was
nice.
like, thank you, like for instance,
Yeah.
thank you, teacher Christine, for, and then whatever you learned.
Right.
And so one of my famous acronyms is WAIT, and it stands for Why Am I Talking? Because, a lot of times people feel like they just have to talk, because to fill the space,
Right.
and they're not allowing that pause.
Right.
And so I'm very thankful and grateful for that phrase, because
Yeah.
it has helped me get out of a lot of jams
Yeah.
in the past, because I like, okay, there's something on the tip of my tongue, but I'm not going to say it because I need to kind of
Right.
process a little bit. So maybe that's something to keep in mind, next time, and especially again with the family gatherings and stuff this weekend, and you
Yeah.
have something that you want to say, maybe wait,
Yeah.
ask why am I talking,
Yeah.
and maybe do some self preservation.
Yeah. That's a great acronym, Anne. I know yesterday was our family gathering, and it was lovely. There was so much laughter, and I went into it with setting the intention that it would be of just the highest and best for everyone. And it was lovely.
Yeah.
There was an opportunity to be sad, but I said, you know what? No, I need to just embrace the joy that is here right now.
Right.
And why am I talking? I like that. And why am I thinking? Sometimes it's like, stop it.
Yeah. Exactly.
I like that though. Wait, and just that pregnant pause. We've got 2 minutes left.
Okay, I want to just say something real quickly.
Okay.
I just want to truly wish you a happy birthday, because
Thank
I
you.
know that it was your birthday this a couple days ago, and we are all so grateful for you and for the love and for your leadership, and so.
Thank you.
Just wanted
And
to
they've
share
they've
that.
brought me these beautiful flowers and
Yeah.
presents, and I am so thrilled. So I just feel very blessed this birthday.
Yeah.
We're learning a lot, and when you go back and look at your prior years, prior Thanksgivings, what has changed? There's a lot has changed right now.
Yeah.
What can you be grateful for as
Yeah.
we move into our new world? I want to bring Brian in. Yo, Bri, are you there with your dragon?
I'm still here. Yeah. Yeah, we have dragons place, and Mary is okay. So the world is good.
That's right. The world is, and it's getting better every day in every way. It's getting better and better. So we have each other. You can find us at loisherman.com. You can find Anne and Mary and Christine, all three of your businesses. And until next time, everyone, look up, stay positive, and be the light in someone's day. Thank you all deeply. God bless.